Hollow coiled. I'd say you've been practicing.
A man who expects hourly to be struck down, murdered, should practice. Well, I take it then you must be the one Lisa hired to protect me. Who are you?
The name is Cat. T. Hewitt Edward. Cat.
I've heard of you, yes, Mr. Cat. But I don't know you or that I can trust you.
Agante. Middle Amazon. A pygmy tribe.
Yes, well, that tells me nothing.
You said you expected to die.
If I do, it is safe to say you will never leave this room alive. This is a blowgun. If you know the Agante, you may know their penchant for jaguar meat. A pygmy against a jaguar, yet they dine frequently.
Each dart, curare tipped.
A scratch anywhere on the body means certain death. Now, I could hardly miss at this distance.
A desperate game.
My life is at stake. I want to live through tonight.
Why tonight?
The triumph of my career. At 9 o'clock, a private showing of my collection.
And after that?
One day at a time.
Miss Lawrence sent me to extend your life, not to take it.
Now, how can I be sure of that?
If it was your life I wanted, I would have had it some time ago.
How is Lisa?
Disturbed over you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Poor Lisa. To bring her in would be to place her in danger, too.
From whom?
Do you know what this is?
A sacrificial knife.
Ibero tribe, Mato Grosso, 16th century. Once a year, they selected one of their young men. He had to be strong, handsome, physically perfect. They made a god of him. Anything he wanted. The skimming off the top of the tribal drink, the first cuts of meat, furs, skins, women, every luxury. At the end of the year, he led a solemn procession to a stone altar where they used this knife to gouge out his living heart.
You said 16th century.
Some things do not change. I wonder if you would understand. Yes. You seem a man from another place, another time. I have been selected to be just such a sacrificial victim, Mr. Cat. Do you find that amusing?
No. I find that difficult to believe.
Well, live among these long enough and you believe anything. You see it in everything they do. Something dark, something evil, satanic, a brooding presence, a dark continent, a dark world. Do you feel it, Mr. Cat?
Who has you marked for death? And why?
All my life I've been favored of fortune. Tony Webb, the darling of the gods. I've never been poor. I've never been ill. Whatever I touched has flourished. I plant a seed, it blooms. I'm attracted to a woman. She's mine. Almost on the wish, everything I have ever wanted. Like the man chosen by the Jivaros. Do you begin to see certain resemblances? Well, one day I asked myself, am I being prepared for the sacrificial altar?
And found an answer?
Well, I thought it well to test it. There's an ancient tradition to avoid calamity, part with something of value, a jewel, a pet goat, a child, sacrifice to the gods. I had a ring I prized highly, something my mother had given me, a very valuable ring. I went out onto a bridge one night and tossed it over the side.
A knocking on wood.
Well, we all do it, Mr. Cat, in one form or another. A gesture of submission.
To whom?
To our own particular devils. We cross our finger, we carry a rabbit's foot, we toss a pinch of salt over our shoulders. Whatever form these little rituals take, they all say the same thing. I acknowledge your power over me. Please do not hurt me.
And after you threw the ring in the bay?
Well, the next night, at a restaurant, I ordered fish. Red snapper poached in wine sauce. And when I cut open the fish, I found my ring. My offering had been rejected. Superstition? Do you know what the mathematical odds are against this? Astronomical.
Yet possible. In a universe of infinite chance.
Someone means to destroy me.
If so, when?
Tonight should have been the moment of my ultimate triumph. This collection would have established me as the supreme authority in my field. I do not believe I shall live to enjoy it.
Believe in your devils if you wish, Mr. Webb. That's the privilege of your profession. But my profession demands I accept nothing on faith. I'd like to have a list of all the people who were sitting at your table the night you ordered red snapper. Alex Federgreen, Julie Roth, Paul Cheever. That's the list Tony gave me.
Yes, and myself and Tony. 5 of us in all.
The occasion?
A sort of pre-celebration in honor of Tony's showing tonight. I don't believe it. Not that anyone means to kill Tony.
Yet he believes it.
Or says he does. Mr. Cat, if Tony has anything really to fear from any one of us at that dinner, then no one in this world is safe. Oh, I don't claim that some of them might not hate or envy or fear him.
Those have all been motives for murder. You will be at the showing tonight.
I'm acting as hostess.
I'll pick you up at 6.
A swine, Mr. Cat, a hedonistic swine, with a talent for luck and little else. Of course, if you quote me, I'll deny it. But I give what little I'm wearing to see his showing tonight turn out to be the disaster of the century.
You know it won't turn out that way.
Oh, God is dead. Did you know that I, too, went to the Amazon? I crawled through miles of hot, sweaty jungle, was bitten by scorpions, nipped by bushmasters, caught tropical dengue fever, came out with 2 masks and a totem. The totem broke in shipment, and one of the 2 masks turned out to be a fake. Tony went down 2 months later, in the wrong season, stayed at the best hotel in Manus, never left his air-conditioned room. They lined up outside his door with treasures which had been buried by their family for centuries. They pleaded with him to take them off their hands. Now, where, I ask you, is the fairness in all this? Is he really serious about this presentiment of death?
Yes.
Do you believe it?
That would be part of my job.
Do you suspect me of wishing Tony's death?
It would only matter if I suspected you of wishing to cause his death.
So many things can happen to a man. Think of all the organs of our body. Heart, kidney, liver. Any one of them can misfunction. A wall can fall. A crazy man can shoot. Brakes can fail. It's enough to give one hope, Mr. Cat. Before he came, I was the authority on Mesoamerican art. They all came to me. Now... Oh, excuse me.
You will be at the showing tonight.
I wouldn't miss it for the world, especially if there's a possibility that something may happen to Tony.
Tony's a liar, a practiced hypocrite, and a confirmed sybarite.
Which one do you object to?
Mr. Cat, if someone thinks Tony needs killing badly enough to be willing to take the consequences, I don't see that it's any of your business to try and stop it.
It's only a way of earning a living, Miss Rowe.
I must say, in poor taste.
You're not very fond of Tony.
How perceptive.
Perhaps not.
I see. You suspect jealousy.
Shouldn't I?
Jealousy doesn't always lead in a straight line to murder.
But it can. You went to dinner with Tony that night.
Mr. Cat, of the 5 people who were there, possibly excluding Tony himself, I would say that I hated him the least.
You're forgetting Lisa.
You think so?
She too?
Give it time.
You were engaged to Tony.
So?
Something went wrong.
Lisa went wrong.
She came between you?
Let's just say we went our separate ways.
Will you be at the showing tonight?
Will you?
Only in the line of duty.
You couldn't keep me away.
You're talking about the golden boy. Man, if he fell into a pit of lions, each one would have a thorn in its paw.
Luck?
No, art. An art that's worth anything else on earth you could mention.
You sound as if you know him pretty well.
Well, Mr. Cat, I've studied him carefully down through the years. Did you know we were brothers?
No.
Well, same mother, different fathers. Seems to have made all the difference.
How?
Name it. Poverty, hunger, filth, dirt, the whole bit, man. And me, I sit around in a 2-bit dive like this and pick out tunes. I could have been a musician instead of a balladeer.
You mean if Tony had helped?
He didn't.
Your fault or his?
Mr. Cat, I don't see that makes any difference. Or if it does, if it was my fault, I'm going to make sure at least that changes from here on out.
How?
All the way down the line, I've been the loser. The foam, the cream, the sunshine, everything's his. Somewhere there's got to be an accounting.
At the showing tonight?
Yeah. And not you or a battalion of cops could stop me from being there. You see, I have something very important to take up with my dear half-brother.
Sent the wrong kind of flowers.
That girl saw good where there was evil, love where there was hate. She was too good for this world.
You're going on with the showing.
Do you think she would have wanted me to cancel it? If I live through this night, there'll be time to mourn her properly.
XL 67.
Is he still among us?
He's going on with the showing.
With a new hostess?
He thinks that's what she would have wanted.
Not to my taste. A ring and a fish.
A death threat, according to him.
Now, maybe now I do believe that one of them intends to kill Webb. But I also believe whichever one it is won't succeed. I've got a separate car watching each of them.
Suppose they leave their houses.
It's an hour and a half till the showing. If they wait till then, the boys will just follow them in. If they leave before that, we're going to want to know why.
Car 2-3 reporting. Surveillance subject coming out of club.
The brother, Paul Cheever, he went out of the cafe.
Breath of air?
Subject has now gone back into club.
He went back in. Well, she seemed like a sweet, wholesome girl, that Miss Lawrence.
She was.
Then if they were sore at him, why put the knife in her?
Perhaps another warning. Brother. Suppose he spotted the police car.
The back way out? Tell him to go in after him.
Surveillance subject has disappeared.
He took off. I've got 10 men outside, front and back. He's got to get past them.
He will.
Is that right?
Why, Lisa? Whoever it is. Why, Lisa?
Because she was mine. Because she loved me. Don't you believe that's reason enough?
No. But I have no other reason at the moment.
That's it. 13 Mary 21. Repeat.
No action from either of the others. Has to be the brother.
67.
Well, he'd have to be a magician to get in here.
28 clear. 20L 36. 20L 36. Traffic accident.
I've got 2 more cars in the back.
Let go. What's the mess? Let go of me. I didn't do anything. What's the mess? Let go. What's the mess? Let go of me. If this man doesn't take his hands off me, I'm going to bite through 3 of his fingers.
What are you doing here?
Not that it's any of your concern, but I was invited to an Anthony Webb showing.
You're early.
An unfeminine trait I really must do something about.
Julie,
I don't like your friends.
they're just trying to do a job.
Well, that's no excuse for all this vulgarity. Tony would rather die gracefully.
2 of the force's finest with their eyes still glued to her front door.
Who's up front here?
Moorhead's up there.
Who, me? I got a radio CQ to come up here.
Julie, one question and a straight answer.
All right.
Why did you come around this way?
A call from Tony. He said to come in the back way and to come early.
Are you sure it was Tony?
Well, it must have been Tony.
wants to kill you. Get back. About a will. Yeah, I should have had half of everything. He knew about it all along and kept it hidden. See, I gave him till the night of the showing to make it good.
It was all just a plan he had worked out to kill you. Lisa killed because she brought you in.
I don't think so.
Do you really think that happened? About that ring turning up in that fish?
No, I never believed that. I'm sure he planted it there as part of his plan to kill Paul. But Tony was superstitious.
Enough to believe a legend he created himself?
Yes, I think he came to believe it all. That if the gods wouldn't accept his ring, he had to offer them something he loved more.
Lisa.
Well, I gotta get back to work, even if I am rich.
Poor Lisa. And yet...
What?
Tony. He had... something.
A gift from the gods.
Oh, I used to laugh. Yet I came when he called.
Why?
I had hopes of a reconciliation. He had something.
Everything he wanted. Almost on the wish. The darling of the gods.
Poor Tony.